What's up, y'all? We are out here at the range again. As y'all can see, man, beautiful day out here and really nice temperature. So we're gonna have us a little fun out here today. As you can see, I got the crazy jelly contraption set up again, man. I'm really enjoying these videos. It seems like y'all are pretty interested in them too. So we're gonna try to do a few more of these here. Today, what we're looking at here, let me show you what we got. Today we got our jelly, of course. Now let me just go ahead of time and tell y'all that I have tested this jelly about 3 times already. I've done about 3 different tests on this. As y'all know, if you hadn't seen my videos, check those out. So it's got some tracks in here, but I think we can squeeze one more test out of this. I hate to waste this thing and not get all we can out of it. But that being said, like I say, y'all seem to enjoy these and I really do too. So I've actually got a block of clear gel that should be here today. So the next video doing this jelly is going to be in a nice brand new block of clear gel, so we'll be able to see it real nice. And I've been paying attention. I see what y'all asking for, so we're going to do some tests that I've seen some of y'all ask for, so definitely stay tuned for that. But enough of that. For this one here, we're going to be testing out the Federal 22 LR punch. You know, we did one on the silver tips, and this is Federal's kind of high end, I guess, if you want to say, 22 LR defensive ammo. So this is actually a 29 grain projectile in this, and this one is supposedly moving at 1,070 feet per second from the muzzle, and this is achieved out of a 2-inch barrel, they're saying. So this will be very interesting. It's a real light load, 29 grains, and I don't know if y'all have ever seen these, but let me show you here. It's actually a little flat nose. So kind of a full metal jacket flat nose. So I think the claim to fame on this is penetration, so we're going to find out. And as a kind of a control, it was hard to match anything with that, to be honest. And most times your solids are going to be 40 grains or so. So what I came up with was a 31 grain, so very close in the weight on the projectile there. But now this is a copper plated hollow point, but I figure, you know, if you're carrying that, that's going to be for defense. Most people is going to carry hollow points for defense, so 31 grain hollow point, we're going to see what these do to compare with that as far as penetration. These probably won't expand because we're going to be testing it again today out of the little Heritage Barkeep. Now this is a 2.68 inch barrel, so it's over what this is claiming that this is calibrated on, a 2-inch. So this is a little bit longer, so hopefully we'll achieve closer to velocity even with the gas loss from the revolver. So this ought to be pretty interesting. So I'm gonna get y'all set up and we're gonna get at it. All right, y'all, as always, we're going to test the velocity on these first to see what we're looking at. So we're starting out with the Federal Premium Punch, the 29 grain flat nose solid projectile defensive ammo. So we're going to do a 5-round average and see what the velocity on this is. $1,099, 1185. 1179, 1161, and 1151. Let me tell you something, that's extremely impressive speed out of a 2.68 inch barrel. This stuff on the box was calling for 1,070 out of a 2-inch, and every one of those shots exceeded that. That's very impressive out of this little revolver for sure. Let's see what the average on it was. So that gave us a 5-shot average of 1,155 feet per second. That's very impressive out of this little short revolver. All right, let's test out the Challenger. This time it's the Federal Game Shock. This is the 31 grain jacketed hollow point. So let's see what this one will do. I'm gonna tell you that punch was very impressive. So let's see what these will do. These are close to the same weight. I don't know about the velocity though. It was rated, that's rated out of a rifle, so we're gonna find out here. 5 shots on this. $1,021, 1,057, 988, 997, and 1,029. So I can already tell you without looking at it, that average is going to be lower. We had 1155 average on the punch. So let's see what the average is on this. All right, so the average on this Federal Game Shock is 1,018. So if you remember, the average on the punch was 1,155. So decent amount of difference there. Not too much. I'd say what, 10% difference. So this ought to be a pretty close match. So let's get on that jelly and see what happens. All right, y'all, here we go. First up is going to be the punch, Federal Premium Punch, 29 grain, flat nose, jacketed projectile, specifically made for self-defense. So let's see what we can do here. Alrighty, nice clean hit. I tried to get it close to the top where no tracks were, so let's go ahead and we'll flip it around to the other side and we'll put the next one in there and see what we can do with it. Alright, y'all, let's see what the Challenger can do. I'm gonna tell you something. I had to cheat a little bit when I flipped that thing around to shoot from the other side, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, that punch is gonna be extremely hard to beat. I'm telling you, that's a very impressive. When y'all see that, I think you'll be surprised. That punch is extremely impressive. But let's go ahead and do this one. This is the Federal Game Shock 31 grain jacketed hollow point. So let's see what this one will do for us. We'll try to keep it from crossing up the tracks as best I can. All right, nice clean hit. I think we kept it out of our other tracks. So let's go up here and let's see what we got on them. All right, y'all, let's see what we got here. I can already tell you there's really no comparison. And again, now, y'all bear with me. I know this is going to be a little bit difficult to make out because this gel's been used a few times now, but we're going to see if I can get it for you. Like I say, I got a brand new block of clear stuff coming today, so the next tests are going to be nice new clear gel. All right, so this right here, we'll look at this Federal, this Game Shock first, the 31 grain jacketed hollow point. Not this upper track. This upper track was the arms core from the other day in a different test. But if you see that lower track right there, that's it right there. And if you see, I don't know how well you'll be able to see with these wrinkles, but the projectile is right here. I'll see if I can get a little closer up here for you. Now that bottom track, that's the jacketed hollow point, the Game Shock. That was the Challenger, if you want to say. And you see it stopped right about there. See if I can get you a better pic from underneath. So the projectile is right here. If y'all can see, I think you can see that. So pretty nice little wound cavity, not bad at all. Decent little wound channel. Get some fat right there and skinny's on out. Let's dig this out and see if it did expand any. It was moving pretty quick for a 22 LR, so I can tell it did try to mushroom a little bit. So let's dig that out and see exactly what it looks like. There's the Federal Game Shock. As you can see, it did try to mushroom out, so not a bad projectile at all, especially out of just a 2.6 inch barrel. That's not bad at all. So you think that's pretty decent until I'm gonna show you what this punch did. So again, keep in mind, that's the channel that this created right here. That bottom one right here, as you're seeing it from here. So that's that Game Shock. I'll pick it up a little bit and give you a pretty decent view of it. So that bottom one is that Game Shock. Now, like I say, you think that's pretty decent until you see what this punch did. So let me drag it this way. Can y'all see that massive channel right there? Not these two on the outside, but that one in the center. And look at that massive channel. Let's see, before I go too far, this Game Shock went about 8.5, we'll give it 8 3/4 inches of penetration. 8 3/4 inches out of that Game Shock. Look at that punch wound channel, y'all. I'm talking about that big one in the middle, all the way, and the bullet went all the way to here. It went all the way to here. And look at that channel on that thing. I mean, that is incredible performance out of that. I don't know how well you'll be able to see from the top. Look at that channel, y'all. All the way down, and there's the projectile right there. I mean, that is crazy penetration and big wound channel out of that. Look at that wound channel, y'all. For penetration, we've got 15 inches. 15 inches of penetration out of that versus 8.5 on that other one. Pretty close to the same grain bullets. That is incredibly impressive. To me, that's the best 22 LR round we've tested so far. I mean, look at that channel, y'all. Huge channel all the way to the end. Let's see what the projectile did, if anything. I don't think the projectile probably didn't do much, but let's take a look and see. As you can see, it didn't even attempt to open. It did flatten out, got a little concave on the nose there, but completely intact still. So there was your punch. This was that game shock. But the penetration difference is incredible, guys. I mean, that is very, very impressive for a 22 LR. All the way from there to there. And again, look at the size of that wound channel. That's a nasty, nasty little 22 LR round right there. All right, y'all, another jelly test in the books, man. I'll be honest with you, this one was the most definitive so far. There was no question who the winner was on this. This 22 LR Federal Premium Punch performed incredible in my opinion. Big, nice big wound channel, nice penetration. It put that other stuff to shame. And I'll be honest with you, out of all that we've tested so far as 22 LR, this takes it, man. There's no competition to me. Federal did it right on this. Didn't get no expansion, but still, you saw that wound channel. That wound channel was incredible to me. I was really impressed with that. So as far as money difference, I've had a question about that on a couple of other ones. You know, you can get this for around, I think right now it's running about 10, 11 bucks for a 50 round box. You know, something like we tested against, you're talking $4 or $5. In this case though, to me, if you were actually using 22 LR for personal defense, well worth the money. No question at all. There's absolutely no question. Now, I don't prefer 22 LR for defense myself, but if you were using it, this is what you want. 100% hands down. There's no question. No competition from what I've seen so far. So, let me know what y'all think about it, man. Do you agree with that? Like I say, I don't even think there's a debate this time. The other one was kind of subjective on the other test. We could have went either way, you know, depending on what you're looking for. I don't even think you can even debate this. I really don't. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Have y'all used this before after seeing this? Or do you feel more comfortable about carrying it and what it could do for you? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If y'all enjoy these videos, please hit that thumbs up. Please look down there and make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so when I put these new videos out, they pop up for you. You can jump right on them. That helps tremendously. That really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate that, y'all. So again, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know some more tests you might like to see out of this gel. I'm definitely listening to you, so I've heard some stuff already, and it's coming, believe me. But appreciate all y'all again, man. Check my Amazon affiliate links down in the description like I always ask you. Anything you do, you're shopping through Amazon on that, anything you buy after going through that link anywhere on the site, we get a little kickback on it for the channel, and it really helps out. I definitely appreciate that, y'all, big time. So appreciate everybody for watching, thumbsing up, leaving me them comments and subscribing. And in the meantime, y'all stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.